everyone. Today I'd like to make a butter cake, but it is going to be a slight variation from the butter cake that I had showed you a while ago. The butter cake that I always make has got certain measurements, and the ingredients are of a certain measurement, and I kind of like that kind of texture. It's a rich butter cake, and it's a little heavy, rich, and well, I like it. But there are times when I would like to have a lighter butter cake. So I went through the internet and I did come across a few recipes. So today I would like to use a recipe by another YouTuber whose name is Deepika Ori, and she's got a butter cake that I would like to try. So let's try her butter cake and let's see how it turns out. I've put everything on the table, and as I said earlier, when you're going to bake a cake, make sure you have all your ingredients on the table, measured out, and so on. And I tend to always use just 4 eggs, but in her recipe, she's used 5 eggs, and also her ingredients are all in grams. I normally just use a cup. I find it so easy to just take a cup of flour, a cup of sugar, but hers is all in exact gram measurements. So I have done exactly. I'm going to give you the exact gram measurements that she's given, and we're going to try the exact recipe today. So these are all the ingredients: the flour, baking powder, okay, and milk, eggs, butter, and custard sugar. Sifted the baking powder together with the flour, and I usually just do it about 1 time. So in her recipe, she says that it's important to do it about 3 times. So I did exactly that. Well, I think that makes sense because when you sift it more, the cake is more airy. So that just makes sense, and I did that today. By the way, guys, it's not Deepika or Ori, it's Deepali Ori. I'm sorry about that mistake. Just remember that all the ingredients has to be at room temperature. So the eggs, if you had the eggs in the fridge, it should be taken out of the fridge, and it should be taken out for a while till they reach room temperature, and even the milk. Now, as for the butter, if you live in a hot country like Malaysia, which is tropical and right now it's really hot, don't keep it out of the fridge for too long. It should still be able to retain its shape like this. It shouldn't. The oil shouldn't be like seeping out of the butter and separating and so on, because then that would result in a very oily cake. It should be like this. You should just be able to make like a dent like that, or maybe less than that, because even this is a little oily. Can you see that it's like the oil is separating from the butter? So it should be at room temperature and not too it shouldn't melt too much. First thing to be done is to beat the butter till it's nice and soft. You can do this for about 2 to 3 minutes. Now I'm just going to mix it a little bit like this, and I'm going to add the sugar. And this is the stage where, according to Dipali, she says that you should beat it a little longer till it's really pale. So I would beat it, but not so long. She took about 15 minutes to beat this. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to let it beat for about 15 minutes, not at a very high speed, but at a slightly lower speed, maybe a medium speed. And I'm going to let it beat it more than I usually do. Stop it every now and then. Just scrape the sides very quickly and continue beating. So you can see that it's yellow right now. So she said beat it right until it's really pale. Like I would beat it. Normally I do beat it till it's pale, but this time around, let's see what 15 minutes does. Okay. Oh my goodness. While the butter and sugar is creaming, make sure to preheat your oven to 160 degrees Celsius. This too is a little different from how I make my cakes. So yeah, 160 degrees Celsius. Background story. The quality of the sound in this video and probably a few more would not be so good because, I actually broke the speaker and mic set that I had earlier because I was a little careless. So I broke it, and I'm trying to get another a good set again. So this one that I'm using right now is not of good quality, so bear with me for a while, guys. So it has been beating for 15 minutes, a little more in fact, and I'll just show you how it looks. Can you see how pale the batter looks like? Okay, that's definitely more pale than when I beat it. One of my biggest flaws is I don't have that much patience. But anyway, she said 15 minutes. I creamed the butter and sugar for 15 minutes, and now it's time to add my sugar. And now it's time to add the eggs. And she mentioned one by one. So these 5 eggs, she put 1 egg at a time. I'm going to like sort of just pour this in little by little. You will see. Okay, let me see if I can show you. Yeah, so I'm just going to do this sort of like one that way. Okay, and I'm going to beat it one by one. I've already put 3 eggs. I'm going to scrape it a little bit because you know the batter will be all around and the egg will be somewhere in the middle. So this one, okay, I'm going to beat it a little bit like that, and then all this would be scraped in properly. I'm just trying to be fast here, so you know. Okay, now for the 4th egg, number 4, and that's going to be beaten as well. Now for a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Try to use good vanilla extract if you can. That's a teaspoon, and you don't have to use vanilla extract if you don't want to, but then it would taste a little eggy, so it's totally up to you. I like the vanilla taste definitely. Very So another difference here is that when I bake a butter cake, I would usually take the flour, take ladles like this and fold it in and use my spatula and sort of like, just fold it into the batter. What Deepali did was she continued using her hand mixer. So I am going to continue using my stand mixer and do what she did, but at a slower speed. I'm a little worried about that because usually you're not supposed to beat the cake too much. Once the dry ingredients mixes with the wet ingredients, because that is when the whole baking powder and so on starts to work, and you don't want too much of air to come out of the batter. So I don't know. I'm just going to follow her recipe and let's see. I'm quite excited actually. Okay, she used a little spoon. I don't have that much patience, guys, so I'm going to use a bigger spoon. Okay. And I'm going to sort of mix it in a little bit and then use the beater, the mixer, the stand mixer. So I'm going to do this first, and this is what I meant by folding in the batter, folding in the flour, sorry. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do what Dipali did and just start the mixer. Okay, at a low speed. And then this is how she did it. She just put a bit more. Just went little by little, adding in the flour. And a bit more. Okay. Then in between, I'm to scrape the sides down and pour in half of the milk. Remember the milk, the 60 ml of milk? I am going to pour down half. So I've already put in half of the batter, half of the flour, little by little, and now I'm going to add half of this 60 ml of milk. Okay, that's all. Then I'm going to mix it again. Okay, my hands are messy. Oh, I've got to wipe my hands first. Tissue. Put this down and beat it again. And continue adding the flour little by little. Till I finish all the flour. Hey guys, all the flour has been incorporated. The batter still looks quite good. Oh gosh, look at me. I have, occasionally when I put my flour in, I should have put it a little lower so it doesn't whip out of the cake. That's what happened. And yeah, anyway, so the batter looks quite nice. Now to add the remainder milk, all that goes in, and then beat it a little bit more. I'm definitely going to use my hands to clear all this batter, guys. So make sure your hands are clean while you do that. Okay, beat it one more time for a very short time. Okay, that's done. Oh, I don't know why this is quite hard. Remember, this is a really old mixer. This was handed down to me by my mom, and I'm in love with this mixer because this was my first cake was baked using this mixer, and I was about, I don't know, about 10, 15 years old, or maybe 14, I think, when I baked my first cake. Okay, now I've already prepared a cake tin. I've greased it, lined it with some baking paper, and I'm going to now ladle all of these batter into the cake tin, and I'm going to scoop it out. Of course, I'm going to scrape all of this into the cake tin, but this I will just sort of like pour it in this way. Okay, so I'm going to pour it in, and yeah, I'm going to make sure I scrape out all the batter. Now I'm just going to just sort of level it a little bit, very lightly, gently. Okay, I think this cake tin might be a little too big for this cake. Let's see. I'm going to use my hands, guys. Okay, my hands are clean, and this cake is going to just go for the family. So yeah, see. Okay, the cake, the batter is all in. I'm just going to hit it a little like that. Trick I learned somewhere, and I'm going to put the cake, this into the oven at 160 degrees Celsius. So I'm just putting it in there. It's 160, and I'm going to set it for about 60 minutes. And apparently this cake would take about 50 to 60 minutes to bake. So let's see. I'm going to take the cake out. It is exactly 50 minutes, but it looks done. So I'm going to take the cake out. This is how it looks. It looks absolutely perfect. Smells good too. So let's see how this, I'm going to cut it and then I'll show you guys. So I'm going to put it over a wire rack like this and let it cool properly. Oops, sorry. So it's cooling on this wire rack like that, and there's a rack underneath, as you can see. So this way the cake will cool well from the bottom and the top. So everyone, I've taken the cake out. Maybe I should have used a slightly smaller square cake tin because it's not too high, but this is how it looks like. I think it's turned out very well. It hasn't domed or anything like that. I'm really happy. And let me cut the cake, and then let's see how it tastes. So I've cut the cake. Oh, this is how it looks. Just look at that. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Well, it looks wonderful, and it's also quite spongy. Can you see that? I'm going to give this cake a try, and then I give you my verdict. Just what I was looking for. It's light, it's so light, and yet you can taste the butter. You can taste the butter, not too sweet. This is the perfect light tea time cake, guys. I love it. Thank you everyone for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed watching me bake this cake as much as I enjoyed baking this cake. I'm so happy because this is exactly what I was looking for. So thank you, Dipali Ori, for this lovely recipe. And if you guys like my channel, if you like what the things that I do, please do like my channel, please do share my videos, and do subscribe to my channel, guys. Thank you so much. Here's Shakila Shanmugam signing off. Bye everyone.